I see some people in the count right now, and I will be going on in a few minutes for puck drop once we get visuals on ESPN2 of the game. So I will be coming on as soon as the game comes on our televisions here. That's how this is going to work. No pregame for this one, at least for right now, even though in the past I've done a few, like for the ECAC championship. So I will be on in 3 minutes, and hopefully puck drop will be soon after. Still 4 minutes and 35 seconds to puck drop because ESPN does not want to drop the puck for us on time. So we're still waiting on that, as I'm still waiting on dinner myself at the first intermission. So I'd like the puck to be dropped as well at this point. Love Mess, love Subban, love Steve Levy. Let's get it going, guys. Let's get it going. We're trying to get to the broadcast here. Well, if that anthem doesn't move you, I don't know what will. As John Gruden is in the building to get the party started, Buccaneers head coach from 2002 to 2008. Well, that's a surprise. I'm Matthew Mugno here on Mugno FM as we are set to take the ice. Game 5. Tampa Bay Lightning hosting the Montreal Canadiens on a small patch off of the roaring Tampa Bay. Montreal Canadiens, former dynasties, hockey lore and legend in the building, looking to come back and return to dominance in the Eastern Conference. The current leader in domination in the Eastern Conference, the Tampa Bay Lightning, led by Andrei Vasilevsky in goal, are looking to conquer Montreal and get past the first round for the first time in 4 years since their last Stanley Cup win. We are underway as Dobish plays the puck behind the net. Pass found to center and sauced over the blue line. It's Ryan McDonagh with the start for Tampa. To Hagel. Cut off at the red line, and a look for the chop in Slafkovsky gets it deep. McDonagh, two-time Stanley Cup champion, nudged off the puck behind the net and some contact. First hit of the contest as Jake Evans moves it up to Caden Gooley. Poked off by Kucherov, who takes a spill, and he'll look for the change. First possession here for Montreal. Gooley. Play to Matheson. Moved over the line by Suzuki. He's cruising. Pivots at the hashes, out to the point. It's poked off and reaches Dobish again in the trapezoid. He bangs it high off the glass, and the puck for a moment free. On a look for Anderson, streaking into the zone, playing it into the corner. Now two-man down low. It's Gord. First shift on for the former ECHL dog. Gould sends one into the corner. Gooley, apologies. Hudson. A one-timer Suzuki blocked, this time by Cirelli. Anthony Cirelli skipping off as Gensel finds Gord, who makes a move at the blue line. Now James to the point, a shot. Bogosian tipped off. Apologies, that's Crozier, who had to hit that changed momentum. And Tampa looks to build off of their crowd and build off of momentum from their Game 4 victory in Montreal. Brandon Hagel scoring that game-winning goal as play is filtered out in the neutral zone. Kirby Dach on. Off to Hudson, who scored the game winner in Game 3, an overtime goal at the Bell Center. Looking for Bolduc cutting. He'll beat Lilleberg to the puck. Now Texier. French native, staple to the glass. It's Bolduc. And Dach 2-on-2 at the hashes now to the right of Vasilevsky. Moved over the line. It's Struble. Vasilevsky stops the puck for two defenders behind the net. And Tampa reloads. First attempt on a move-in. Past Gergenson's playing in his 10th career playoff contest. Previously played 10 years with the Buffalo Sabres and had never appeared in the postseason. Corey Perry, on the other hand, trying to filter the puck out. Newhook picks up his own rebound, and they score! Brendan Gallagher! 1-0 Canadiens on the road. Just 3 minutes into the contest, exactly, Brendan Gallagher finds the back of the net. Corey Perry lost the puck in the neutral zone. Gallagher made the play. Newhook, one-on-one against Charnock, took a shot, tried to follow up on his own rebound, and Gallagher put it in to an empty net on Andrei Vasilevsky. With an .882 save percentage, he's been sub-900 in 4 straight playoffs. So the former Conn Smythe winner and two-time champion struggling again to open the contest. Brendan Gallagher did not play in the first 4 games of the series, scoring his 14th career playoff goal just 3 minutes in. Montreal up 1-0 in this pivotal Game 5 as play resumes. Over the stick of Kucherov, it's Demidov. Countryman is Slavkovsky, carries over the blue line. Riding the wave, he dips it down low. Demidov with dancing shoes in the corner. Looking Evans, it's cut off by Moser. Now Kucherov picks up at his goal line. Glassing out. Off the windows, it's picked up by Hagel. 6 goals in this series thus far. Filtered to Slavkovsky at center. He walks at the top of the circle, a shot, rings around the glass. And Matheson tracks it down back into his own end. 16:08 on the clock. Just 3 minutes in, Montreal with the first goal. Brendan Gallagher, who's dealt with injuries the last few years of his career, a staple for this original 6 franchise in their last competitive window, getting the Canadiens on the board, on the road. Caulfield finds Hudson. Gouli, a shot gloved down by Vasilevsky, and a stoppage of play. McDonough and Suzuki exchanging pleasantries. Eric Chernak was beaten, the Slovakian defender, 6'4", 230. Just not enough motion skating backwards on that attempt. And for Gallagher, a player that slots into the lineup, he makes an impact immediately. Alex Newhook with his second assist of the series. He had won the Stanley Cup with Colorado in 2022. Cut to the net, a fantastic individual effort, finished off, and I'm sure Gallagher would tell you that play was all from the effort and drive of his teammate. Fourth line out for the Lightning as the puck is pinned to the left side of the glass by the hashes. 5-on-5. Now it's out to Hudson. He looks past, and it's past the stick of Doc and Bolduc. Doc picks up. Looking to Gouli, and it's carried out by Kucherov. A one-nudge pass, not enough. Now picked up by Bolduc at the blue line, one-on-one. He's moved to the corner by Point. Good defensive play from the young center. 29, fresh in his prime, 2-time champion. Point now on the offensive. Kucherov swirls this around the glass. Radish steps up. 7 seasons in the AHL for Radish. He has 2 goals in the series. 43 in blue, now backtracking at his own blue line. Rear guard finding his centerman at the Lightning logo. At center, back to Radish. He'll carry down the left corridor. Short pass. A reload shot. Dobish with the stop, and it kicks out to the corner. Now Lightning possess. The Bolts battle in the corner to the left of Dobish. Knocked down at the blue line by Mosier. Costly as Newhook carries in. Now bump to Mosier. He'll pirouette into the corner and pump the brakes behind the goal. Forward. Into the zone. Apologies, that's James. Gage Gonsalves and James battle. 2 call-ups during the season. Both made the team out of camp. Gonsalves. Looking James at the top of the right circle. A shot looking 5-hole. Dobish has it. And despite some pushing and shoving, no fireworks yet at the 13:55 mark. This is a good time to look at Jacob Dobish, 24 years old. .882 save percentage through 7 career playoff games. His 8th tonight. Former Ohio State Buckeye. Selected in round 5 of the 2020 NHL Draft. We'll be back in a few moments with more action. Montreal Canadiens, Tampa Bay Lightning. Game 5 of the Eastern Conference quarterfinal. A pivotal one. We'll talk to you soon, folks. Well, this time of the year, everyone's battling injuries. Noah Dobson was on the LTIR, traded for 2 first-rounders in July. We'll see if he can return at any point this postseason. A major move that I believe helped put the Montreal Canadiens in a position to succeed this year, finishing second in the Atlantic and reaching 50 wins. And for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's Victor Hedman, their captain, who's out practicing, but no timetable on return as Demidov gets into the offensive end. A poke check works on Radish, but he's able to get the puck off to Hagel at the wall. Breakout for Tampa. Bolts in blue tonight. Kucherov loads a one-timer into Dobish's pads, and a stoppage on the play. 82 miles per hour, that shot registers. 5 total shots in the contest. Point and Kucherov are going to have to deliver a better performance than they have. Point with 0 points so far in the postseason, and Kucherov with just a single assist. This is a player with 177 postseason points in his career, 2-time champ. And the list goes on and on. We could talk about Nikita Kucherov and what he means to this Lightning club all night. But he'll have to deliver. He's lined up to the left of Hudson, and it's sent out. An airmail parachute looking Demidov. Now it's Slavkovsky riding a check from Lilleberg. Slavkovsky pushing this forward. 2-on-2 at the wall. Hagel's looking for an outlet. Slavkovsky unable to backtrack. Hagel in his feet. Double teamed. Point's able to get it through. Now a turnover by the Bolts. Demidov looking to get it deep. He didn't have enough time. Chernik works it out. Cut off by Suzuki. A nice move to get to the inside. A saucer unable to hit Anderson in stride. Hagel a shot. Boy, you have to keep your eye on him all night. Caulfield within reach of Suzuki. Now it's Anderson behind the defense. Suzuki on the backhand at the goal line looking Caulfield. Now Hudson at the point. Diamond formation. Shot. Vasilevsky freaks it off. A rebound off a stick in the crease from Caulfield. It's covered. And that Suzuki line driving play. Nick Suzuki, the captain of this young squad with 4 points in the postseason so far. First 100-point scorer for Montreal since Mats Naslund in 1996. Our first penalty of the evening at the 12:30 mark on Ryan McDonough. The veteran Tampa Bay defender will sit in the sin bin for 2 or less, and we'll see on the replay. A cross check high on Nick Suzuki. That's textbook 27. We'll have to watch from the glass in the penalty box. Ryan McDonough just played in his 200th career postseason game. Again, former champion with this Stanley Cup winning Lightning teams 2020-2021. And he was traded back to this club on May 21st, 2024 at 36 years old. And they went out and bought a few of their players back from those teams. Yanni Gourde, Ryan McDonough, and of course, Corey Perry. Slavkovsky wins this forward, but it's Gensel first to it. On the wraparound, it's sent down ice. Apologies, folks. I should have mentioned it is a 4-minute penalty. And on Mugno FM here, we don't get the live feed from the official, so everything is based off the graphics. Thought maybe it was a mistake. Suzuki walks in a shot wide. At the circle, a pass for Caulfield. Caulfield loads up. Demidov a shot into a block. Across for Slavkovsky. Left circle. Down for Caulfield at the goal line. Looking to break the plane. A backhand dish indirectly to Hudson. Walking it to the center at the point. Caulfield at the wing of the kite. Suzuki cuts in. Hill rover. Caulfield. Right hashes. Suzuki. Demidov a shot into a block. It was Moser. Demidov finds Hudson. Suzuki walks to the inside. A shot looking tip. Slavkovsky had a piece, but it was covered by Vasi. Vasilevsky with the cover. Slavkovsky with a hat trick in a dominant Game 1 performance, the overtime winner in this very building. Just couldn't get enough on it. A tip on the backhand, great eye as they worked it down low. And a one-time attempt from Demidov earlier was off the rear of his own teammate. First unit's off, 2:58 remaining in the power play for Montreal, 11:27 in the first. Texier battling for it against two Bolts. Out to Matheson. Bolduc walks the ladder, a shot off a stick and wide. Texier. Out for Matheson, who jumps into the play. Texier at the right hashes. Now Matheson. Texier loads up. Off a stick and sent down ice. 2:33 remaining on the power play for the Canadiens. 4 shots apiece as Matheson quarterbacks. Head on a swivel. He's got Newhook behind him. With speed, 15 in white. This is cut off by Hagel. 2-on-1 with Cirelli. Back checkers on. Hagel to the inside, a shot. It rolled off his stick. Now Doc. Loading at his own blue. Doc, a head fake. Texier into the zone. Bolduc. A saucer, cross plane. 85 in white finds Matheson. Back for Texier. Those two with the connection. A hard shot wide. Here's Doc. He has Texier. Now Hudson at the point back on with 1:37 remaining in this power play. Gord at his feet. He soccers it, and it's sent down ice. Hagel charging down as Dobish plays it at the bottom of the circles. Nice hands from the keeper. Here's Hudson. He has Suzuki and now Caulfield. 1:15 remaining on the zone entry here for Montreal. Caulfield bumped off the puck. Crozier sends it out. Unable to keep was Hudson as he charges for the free puck. At his own slot, he's able to avoid trouble. 55 seconds remaining on the Montreal power play. 9:22 in the first. Demidov tried to filter a pass from the point and was blocked. Now Caulfield. Sent around the zone and slapped down ice on goal. Dobish forced to block it. Played at the bottom of the left circle from the keeper. It's Slavkovsky. Left alley to the inside, Demidov. Kept to the perimeter by Chernak. Chernak, below the goal line, takes the puck and sends it down ice. 15 seconds remaining. And an opportunity for the fans to be heard as Hudson carries up ice. Montreal leading 1-0 on a goal from Brendan Gallagher. McDonough, almost free. Hudson, pinned to the glass. Anderson unable to keep. Sent up to Deneau. Evans. Anderson down low. It pinballs towards goal. Bolts in control. At the wall. A keep and a hard check on Carrier. He's been on the wrong end of a few of those the last 2 postseasons. Radish sends it too far for Hagel. Now point on. A stretch pass, Evans picks up. Tipped into the zone. Anderson keeping his man to the glass. Canadiens on a change. Now Doc picks up. Past Kucherov and the official, a one-on-one foot race. It's close, and Texier pushes his man to the glass. That was Lilleberg. Gensel, the gold medalist, filters out for Radish. Now he's got Bjorkstrand on a send. Bjorkstrand dips the shoulder, a backhander. Does he score? No, denied. It was off the post. Now Bolduc in the trapezoid. A backhander. This one might get another look as Doc gets this further into the Bolt zone. McDonough. Free. Hard shot from Gallagher. Chernak. Unable to handle for a moment, but he was able to get it deep in the neutral zone. Gonsalves locates the puck at his feet, and the Canadiens filter out. High stick attempt by Gallagher, and it was off a body and out. We'll have another look at the Oliver Bjorkstrand shot on goal. And now Evans with a penalty on the delay of game. So that puck did not hit off the glass. And Tampa will have their crack at a power play. After a timeout, Bjorkstrand beat Dobish, but not the post on a backhander. The crowd in Tampa ready to erupt. They'll have to wait. Currently down 1-0, a power play on deck for Tampa. Welcome back, Benchmark International Arena looking to erupt as the Tampa Bay Lightning have a power play for 2 minutes on a Jake Evans delay of game. Puck went out off his stick, never hit glass, never hit anybody. For the Montreal Canadiens, a win here would push Tampa to the brink. Can they recapture their fire? And for Tampa, down 1-0, staring at a Brendan Gallagher 1-goal contest. Can momentum from Game 4 carry Tampa to a series win? Well, they're going to need the pendulum to swing here on the power play. The big boys are out. Hagel wins the faceoff. Now at the left circle, he loads up. Looking at Gensel at GDL. To the point, a one-timer. Dobish with the stop. He controlled that with ease. Kucherov sauces the puck to the point. Now he's in control. Gensel sidesteps Newhook. Radish a one-timer off the blocker of Dobish. Not off the end glass as Suzuki carries out. Here's Suzuki one-on-one with Kucherov. Through the legs move. A backhand shot saved by Vasilevsky. An acrobatic move by Suzuki who recognized Kucherov. Not a natural defender. One-on-one. Now 86 in blue finds point. Point to Gensel. An esteemed power play unit as Radish finds Gensel 1 minute remaining on the advantage. To the feet of Kucherov. Gensel checked by Anderson. Now point in the slot, a shot. Rebound available. He'll have to hack for it behind the net. It's Deneau and Hagel at the right wall. To the top of the key. A 3-on-2 drill at the point. Picked up by Montreal and sauced down ice. Momentum slowed by Radish. Vasilevsky with the big paddle to 43. Second unit on for Tampa with 30 seconds. Here's Gonsalves. James inside-outside move broken up. Here's Newhook to himself. He had an opportunity. 3 bolts back. Newhook looking to make a move to the inside. It's cut off by Moser. Suzuki hunting for a check. He missed. Cirelli carries out. Cirelli with free ice. A move to Cage. He's upended by Hudson. A slapper to the point. Mosier's run over, but the puck's out of play in the Montreal bench. Nick Suzuki with a penalty kill that any coach would dream of. And he made the opportunity himself, down up 1-0. looking for the second goal, a backhander, Vasilevsky with a great look, and Sorelli, the speedster, with the look on goal. He was upended by Hudson. Clean, no penalty there. Face off in the neutral zone, brought in by Chernak. 3 bolts in with 81. Gergensen's a hard check on Hudson. 1 out to center. Bjorkstrand unable to handle it. It's Evans who flubs a pass. Broken stick on the ice. Demidov drilling a man down for the puck. It's McDonough at the red line. Gord. He had a quick release for Bjorkstrand, and they weren't able to connect. Now Evans at the blue line. Slavkovsky at his feet. Now Hudson. Further in the Canadian zone it goes. Hudson. With a sidestep move, you'd see on the gridiron. Struble. Looking Texier. Brought down. Now Perry into the zone. 1-on-1. A shot on Dobish. He looked to play it, and he'll option to cover. Perry pushed out. Corey Perry, a very familiar face in Quebec. A man that was on the roster the last time they went to the Stanley Cup final. In fact, 40-year-old Corey Perry has been to 5 finals in the last 7 seasons. He'll have to continue to battle after the break here. Tampa Bay with an opportunity in Montreal's end after the TV timeout. And this Stanley Cup final rematch continues in this first round between the Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning. All even this series. Game 5 is at 0-0, as in the series. I should say the score right now in Tampa 1-0, courtesy Brendan Gallagher. So it is John Cooper, coach of this Tampa Bay Lightning squad since 2012. He coached Martin St. Louis before he departed for the New York Rangers. St. Louis goes to New York, coaches the Mid-Fairfield, Connecticut Rangers, and then ends up the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens after helping consult for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He's looking at number 26, the retired number in the rafters tonight in Tampa. Can his team turn it around? Can he get his hometown Canadiens over this first round hump? Team on the come up. We'll have to penalty kill here as the puck's won by the Lightning. Suzuki keeps it to the perimeter. Sent up the wall to Radish. A shot wide. Dobish tracking it well. Caulfield looks to help out down low. Kucherov frees up, knocking the puck down. It's sent back out to the neutral zone. Also, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia playing tonight on TNT, and Utah and Vegas at 10 o'clock Eastern. Kucherov looking for the one-timer. It's sent to the corner. Carrier cross-checks in the corner, freeing the puck up for Caulfield. They were 3-on-3 out. He's nudged off the puck and sent to the wall. A heavy check from Radish. Gonsalves on the wrong end of that hit. 3 minutes remaining in this first period. A man who watched both teams compete from the press box the last 4 contests with the first goal. As McDonough tries to get this puck out. Gord. Deneau and Gallagher out now. Two veteran Canadians. Deneau forcing Point to the outside. Down the left alleyway is Point. He pumps the brakes. He carves his way to the inside. Pass cross ice, finding Hagel. Hagel turns out of this. At the mouth of the slot, it's to Point in the corner. He mishandles. He'll option down low. Gord. Muckrakes to the inside, and he'll get a penalty for that. Gooley's stick chopped out of his hands. Yanni Gord will sit for 2, possibly less, and the Canadians will be back to the power play. Their second attempt of the contest. So 37 in blue. 34-year-old forward who had returned after he was claimed from Seattle in the 2021 expansion draft on March 5th, 2025. The Bolts have their mold, and that's part of it, but a hold on the stick of Gooley. Looked like Gord tried to also sell that he was hooked, but Gord had initiated the play and initiated the contact. Oh, it'll be Gooley as well. So Gooley, after, I guess at the intermission, was also sent to the box. So it will be 4-on-4 hockey. That means, in the words of Dan Frigian, a lot of free ice available. And we'll see on the 4-on-4 if Hagel can draw a backdoor option again. Matheson, met by Gensel. Back in for Dobish. Dobish playing it for Carrier. Good stick lift from Gensel keeps it down low. But it's Matheson for Evans. Now Texier. Up the wall, they're looking for an out. Slavkovsky with steam. One-on-one with Radish. Inside, outside. Backhander, Vasilevsky the stop. We're seeing the talent on full display here in Game 5 tonight. Radish. Chop Suey's the puck into the corner. Good check on Matheson, who stands his ground. Out for Demidov at free ice. He'll send it slow past Dobish, finding Matheson. Now McDonough. Indirect pass. A pickup by the Bolts and a shot. Dobish with the cover. That was Max Crozier with the opportunity. He only played in 18 NHL games before this season, where he played 35. That's 24 in blue. Just 26 years old. His hit in Game 4 swung the momentum for Tampa on Slavkovsky. So now 4-on-4 with 109 remaining and 101 remaining in those offsetting penalties with Gord and Gooley. Looked like Matheson tried to get under Crozier's skin after the whistle. And the face-off to the left of Dobish. Here's Carrier. Pinning the puck to glass and waiting for some support. Hagel frees it up. And to the skates of Deneau. 3 Canadians behind their own goal line. An outlet picked up by McDonough. Crozier finds McDonough towards the Tampa bench. Lefty looking for his partner. 30 seconds remaining on the 4-on-4. Hagel backtracks on a pass. Here's Cirelli. Sticks disrupting play at the wall. An adjacent send to Crozier. 20 seconds remaining in the first period. Moser circles his own net, looking for an option. Shifty skater, finding Kucherov. Gord's out of the box. Kucherov down the throat of the zone. He'll send it pass back out of the offensive end, and that'll do it for the first period. Montreal Canadiens up 1-0 on a goal from Brendan Gallagher. Game 5 in the hands of the Canadiens after 20. 40 more minutes remain Mugno FM will be back after the intermission. Welcome back to Mugno FM, Game 5, Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Tampa Bay Lightning, Montreal Canadiens down in the Bay. Carrier off the first draw of the second frame. Canadiens leading 1-0 on a goal off of the stick of Brendan Gallagher. First shift back. Now it's Hagel up ice. Over the blue line, he's got a man cutting. It was Point. Move to Demidov. Nudge to Slafkovsky. Moved in by the Canadiens, and both teams will go for a change. Defenders remain on for the Lightning. Montreal Canadiens have won 12 straight playoff games and leading after the first period. Here's Hudson. A saucer-looking Suzuki. Backhand dish to the wall. Anderson. Different look here for the Canadiens. Caulfield, Suzuki, and Anderson on the flank. Now McDonough carries out with poise and pace. Cirelli for Gensel. Triangle in front. A look McDonough now stepping into it. A shot is Chernak, and it's off a body and wide. Now out of play at the 1847 mark. Some folks talking on the ice at the moment about whose stick that went off of. 1847 on the clock in the second period. Still plenty of action in this middle frame after a hot start. Brendan Gallagher with the sole goal of the contest. And each game in the series has been decided by one goal. 3 games went to overtime. Last contest decided by a single goal in regulation. A 3-2 win for the Bolts on the road off the stick of who else? Sticker chest of Brandon Hagel. So Lane Hudson will sit in the box. This puck was delivered out of the rink, and it didn't hit the glass. Gensel had that right. Tampa Bay Lightning get another opportunity to tie this game up on the man advantage after a lackluster first period, 2 minutes. And the Canadiens are without their best defenseman, who won the Calder Trophy last season. Second winner of the Rookie of the Year award in the expansion era since Ken Dryden in 72. He'll look on for the box. Gensel loses the draw. Matheson picks up for Newhook, and he'll slice it out of the zone. Vasilevsky pumps the brakes. Red light. Radish picks up green light. Point in stride. 5 at the blue line. Matheson slides it up the wall. Radish, a saucer. Hagel, with all the room in the world, a curl shot off the block of Carrier. Good read from 45 in white. Matheson double teamed. Hagel. A look out. It's Evans, 2-on-2 with a back checker. Smart play there. He sends it into the zone. 40 seconds killed off by the Canadiens. So Point picks up in the gray area of the ice. Gensel over the Lightning logo at center. Gooley ping-pongs the puck, and it ends up back in his own end. Lightning offside. They have to get back on. Gooley. Up the wall indirectly. Deneau. Diagonals the puck back into his own end. The intelligent play. Vasilevsky with the big stick, sending it off to Radish. Just 45 seconds remaining on the power play. Radish for James. He misplays the puck, and it allows him to traverse into the zone. Gooley forced to snap it all the way around the boards down ice. 23 seconds remaining. Moser has Gonsalves, leaving it for James. Now Perry. Veteran goal scorer turned wily attacker. Cirelli has Moser at free ice at the top of the key. James and Moser pass and catch. Cirelli picks up in the slot. Moser back out to the point. At bumper. Off a boot. And now to Hudson out of the box. He's racing with the puck. Riding off the check. In front, a shot. And the rebound available. Vasilevsky on the pinball. He covers. That was Newhook with the attempt. and the youngster has been a factor in this contest. And so was Lane Hudson, who scored the overtime goal in Game 3, moving Sorelli off the puck literally with his forearm, checking Sorelli off of him while he maintained possession. Puck came out in front, and Vasilevsky used the trapper to cover on the ground. Great play from 48 in white. Doc wins this back, and it's picked up by Jackeye. One of his limited shifts here in the contest thus far. Arbor Jackeye's played 9:46 average time on ice this series. Doc without a stick, bouncing off of bodies. Jackeye unable to keep. Had a man behind him, and the Canadians keep the safe play in on the dump. Hunting the puck is Bolduc, who bumps into Vasilevsky. Unintentional, and play continues. 3-on-2 down low. Puck to the side of Dobish, picked up by Bjorkstrand. Out in front of shot. Dobish out to cover up the screen. It's still free. Now he's got it covered, and Jackeye is on top of a Bolts player on the ice. Gergensen and Bjorkstrand wrapped up as well. Dobish took a few shots there, and it looks like the officials will have this all settled out. Crozier was the man underneath Jackeye, who's known to mix things up. They call him the Sheriff. Another look at that play. Official coming to the red line to tell us, the audience, what's going on. 2-minute minor for roughing. I believe that'll be on Jackeye. The shot hit off of Jackeye's stick from Crozier, who was free at the bottom of the circle, and the puck was still free. Crozier with another opportunity, but bodies piled up in front. This isn't the 1-yard line, but they're treating it like it. Looks like Doc pulled Gord off of Dobish, and pleasantries were exchanged. So Arbor Jackeye will sit for 2. And Tampa with yet another opportunity to not only try on to get a goal, but get a shot on goal. Kucherov at the top of the hashes, disrupted by Evans. He's all alone down the alley. Backhand, forehand, stop Vasilevsky. Now point the other way. Facing Hudson. A curl to the slot. Now Radish at the point loading up. Tees one up for Hagel. Left-hand shot on the left side. Curling to the top of the circle. To the right of Dobish. Hagel for Radish. At point guard. Kucherov sliding up top. Snaking through a shot. Blockered away by Dobish. And another shot snared up by the keeper. 1:10 remaining on the power play. Nikita Kucherov looking for his first goal of the series. He went 10 playoff games without a goal until Game 2 of this series. Major factor in why the team has struggled the last few years. Perennial. Won the Stanley Cup in 2020 and 21, but lost in the Cup final 4-2 to Colorado, and 3 straight first-round exits have led the Lightning to this point. Desperation to not only escape the first round, but try and win a few more cups with this core. Sorelli tied up, maintaining his balance, but Montreal sends the puck out on the kill. Anderson charging down ice, looking to disrupt Vasilevsky. Radish looking Kucherov, who had a break. Off his stick, Gensel settling at the wall for point all alone. Now Radish finding Gensel. Puck's moving dot to dot here. Radish for Gensel. A slice pass low. Kucherov shot that out of play. And you could see he is frustrated with his play thus far tonight. The Lightning power play starting to click. Before this advantage, they had not registered a shot on goal since the .350 mark of the first period. Now 13 shots in the contest for the Lightning. John Cooper's squad with 37 seconds remaining on the advantage. And the first power play unit remains out. Canadians maintaining a 1-0 lead at the 14-15 mark of the second period, sent down ice. And now Vasilevsky, who's probably had more touches on this power play than the rest of the Lightning offense. Afterburners on for point. Shifty cuts to the inside, finding Bjorkstrand standing at the blue line. A dish off the sidewall, it's Radish. Kucherov tried a one-touch pass. Now he controls. Fake slapper. Radish's shot blockered by Dobish. Sent down ice. And that'll do it for the Bolts power play. Anemic tonight on the advantage are the Lightning. Point. Looking to cut inside. He takes a check, sticks up. Hudson not only took a stick high, but a whack from point at the shin guards. But play resumes. Slavkovsky finding Suzuki at the left wing. Stymied by Gonsalves. Indirect. Now James. 2-on-1 with Ryan McDonough. James a shot. He scores. Dominic James ties the contest with his first postseason goal. It was the play of Gonsalves at the point and the blue line. He made a pass in between his legs, freeing up James, who went in 2-on-1, your classic play, looking off Hudson and McDonough driving the net. James gained speed in his own slot, picked up the free puck at his blue line, never looked at McDonough, took that shot, a shooter shot over the pad and under the glove. Congratulations to Dominic James. Played it for Minnesota Duluth from 2022 to 2025 and signed as a free agent out of camp on September 20th of this season. Impressive camp. And to bookend it at the moment, a major milestone for the youngster as Gonsalves and Bolduc chirp off the center ice faceoff. Gonsalves now comes in to take the draw against Kirby Dach. One back over the Canadiens' blue line, 1-1 contest. Will one goal decide this contest? Well, it has for the last four. Dach, a move on Gonsalves to the net. Rebound, he scores! Kirby Dach right back on top. 2-1 Canadiens. "11 seconds after the game-tying goal from Dominic James, Kirby Dach finds Pater. Dach kicked the puck to himself and took the shot at the far end of the crease after taking the puck off the wall and riding a defender towards the cage. So the big 6'4" center registers his second goal of the playoffs. Kirby Dach had a costly turnover in Game 2 and received so much online harassment from his own fan base that he deleted his Instagram account. He tied Game 3 and was on the ice for the overtime goal, and now has sent the Canadiens into the lead here in Game 5, a crucial Game 5. Vasilevsky sends it to the corner. And to put a bow on that, he also received a lot of positive fan praise after the contest. Fans, in fact, cheering his name in warm-ups before Game 4. So it's Anderson keeping it low for Suzuki as Montreal looks to open the floodgates. Suzuki, incredible stick work, a shot from the point, wide and out of play. Looked like for a moment could have dashed off the glass, and Caulfield's mixing it up. Looked like with Gensel for a moment, and it looks like Dach will also come back onto the ice for the next play. For now, a TV timeout. Plenty of excitement. A goal just a few minutes into the contest. Now 2 in the middle frame here. It's Dominic James. It's Kirby Dach. It's Canadiens Lightning. Game 5. We'll be back in 2 minutes, folks. Welcome back to Mugno FM second period action. Game 5, Montreal and Tampa Bay. Kirby Dach just took the lead for the Canadiens in the second frame. Big goal, his second of the postseason, second in as many games. 12:21 mark in this middle frame. Series tied 2-2. Tampa on their heels so far in the contest. Dominic James had scored. Just 11 game seconds later, Kirby Dach finds the back of the net. Former top round draft pick 2019, third overall by the Chicago Blackhawks. Refining NHL life here in Montreal for the last few years, since 2022 to be exact. And it's shoveled in by Matheson. As Carrier battles, soccering it. Anything to free the puck up. It's Radish. A hard paddle pass off the wall. Carrier, puck found at his feet by the enemy, Cirelli. Cirelli, a shot wide. Now Kucherov. Hagel, a look on goal, looking for his 7th in 5 games, and it's covered by Dobish. And our television feed is showing some of the overtime goals. J.J. Mosier, former Arizona Coyote, with the second overtime goal of the series. That was in Tampa. So Tampa, with the first 2 home games of the series, they finished second in the Atlantic. They split overtime win and an overtime loss in game 1. The Slavkovsky goal, the Mosier goal on April 21st. It's out to Bjorkstrand. At the blue line, Demidov possesses. Still in search of his first career postseason goal. Matheson try to cut to goal. Now Gonsalves. Cross ice. Carried in. The Bolts a shot off the side post. Gonsalves. Look out in front. A flutter puck out to Bjorkstrand, who gets a shot on goal through traffic, and it's covered. 11-11 remaining in the second period. Make a wish. And for the Bolts, they're hoping something can pinball in with the way this contest has gone. Upcoming schedule. Utah versus Vegas tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern. Game 6, Minnesota leading 3-2. That's been the other extremely exciting series. That'll be at 7:30 tomorrow. Game 6, Anaheim and Edmonton as well. That'll be the nightcap. Geeky playing very limited minutes, losing the draw here to the Canadiens, who move 3-on-2. Hudson up the gut, a shot. That was off the stick of Newhook. I've been impressed with Newhook so far tonight. Fought off at the wall. Corralled by Perry. Looks for his options and slithers into the slot. A shot off the broken play. Picked up by the Habs defense. That was Deneau. Now on the outlet, Montreal. Sticked away by Vasilevsky on an indirect pass. Perry. In the trapezoid. Airlifted to the blue line. Unable to get there was Lilberg. Dumped in by Anderson. Past Vasilevsky at Suzuki. Eyes up as he receives not 1 but 2 checks, and Anderson takes a big collision from Girgensons. Both remain on their feet. Anderson battling 2 defenders for the puck. Hudson unable to corral the puck. Left shot looking to pick up at the right circle. Now Anderson. Eyeballing a checker. One-timer. Whistling wide. And out of play. Wow, that one had some heat on it from Caden Gooley. And we'll have another TV timeout. We'll be back in 2 minutes for more action here in Game 5. We are back here, Game 5, Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Tampa Bay Lightning against the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal finished with 48 wins this season. Currently splitting on all accounts in the postseason, and Tampa Bay with just 2 more wins that afforded them home ice, but that's been split up. That's gone to nothing, to blitz. Series on the line here, Game 5. Whoever wins will push their opponent to the brink. Currently, the Canadiens are up 2-1 with 9:52 remaining in the second period. Remain makes it sound like there's not a lot of time left. Well, we know there's about half of the sand still in this hourglass. So Suzuki and Cirelli battle at draw. Puck on net, and it flutters away on a rolling shot. Cirelli calls for puck and gets it. Gord finds Chernak a shot. He had a man tracking down the rebound who was patted away by Dobish. Hard off the pillows. And a stretch pass look for Anderson. Cutting towards goal. He snows the keeper. And now Gordon McDonough chase after him behind the net. Well, those two very familiar with Anderson as he was a major factor in the Columbus Blue Jackets sweep of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 2019. Team that set the NHL record for regular season wins at the time, now broken by the Boston Bruins from 2023. But the Tampa Bay Lightning had Stanley Cup aspirations, and that came just one season before their first Stanley Cup of 2. Anderson tracked the puck down and snowed the keeper. I'm surprised there wasn't more of a response from the Lightning, as Anderson got all of the breaks and ice shavings on Vasilevsky. Again, Andrei Vasilevsky, sub-900 save percentage in 4 straight playoffs at 258 goals against average this year. The big 6'4" keeper, Big Cat. One-time Vezina winner, Conn Smythe Trophy winner, and 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He was an absolute force in 2020 and 2021. I'm glad to see we have 50 people viewing it. I really appreciate the people tuning in. Puck sent out of play. And this one looks like it was off his stick. So stoppage in play. We'll resume in a moment. Anderson now at his bench. He's been playing on the 4th line wing. Some changes with Brendan Gallagher coming back into the lineup. For a moment, it looked like, at least this morning, they were deciding between Oliver Kapanen and Joe Veleno. Kapanen, who had a really strong first half of the year, 22 total goals in his second NHL season, just not finding that same fire down the stretch. Here's Carrier, who picked up in the neutral zone, sidestep off sides. Mentioned Carrier's name plenty of times tonight. He's played in 25 career postseason contests, and he was traded to Montreal by Nashville in December 2024 for Justin Barron, a highly touted prospect at the time. Brother Morgan plays for the Winnipeg Jets. The Bjorkstrand lined out. That features Brandon Hagel on the left wing, tied up with Texier. Hagel wins this puck. Out for Mosier now. Hagel checked off by Carrier. Walking in his Bolduc, the left shot down the right wing. Puck off his stick. Mosier with a good poke. Now Mosier looks for a moment. Has Kucherov as the option. He's guided towards the wall. Now Kucherov picks up a free puck. Tangled up with Doc. Mosier, left point. Radish pumps the brakes once, not twice. He's looking for a one-timer. Shot on goal with traffic in front. A good look there for Kucherov. Looking for the greasy goal. Now point. Down a tally. In front a look. Wide past Hagel's stick. You figure 38's down there somewhere. So it's Radish. He'll saunter with it at the Bolts logo at mid-ice. A shot on Dobish. It bounces off of him to the sidewall. Now a tie-up as Evans looks for the available rubber. Dobish steps out to play, unafraid to. Past Crozer. In a foot race, the Lightning are able to pull the icing step, and Slavkovsky and Crozer have words for one another. Well, Slavkovsky, a player that's gotten into the mix of things so far in this series. The youngster, just 21 years old, was the MVP of the 2022 Beijing Olympics, where he had 7 goals. So he's been conditioned to the highest level of hockey at more than one level. Now the Stanley Cup playoffs, where it's all laid on the line. 7:57 remaining in the second period. The Canadiens up 2-1. And we'll redo the draw. Arbor Jackeye back on the ice for the Canadiens, always mixing things up, that 72 in red. Just 25 years old. And he's played his role to a T so far in this series. Evans wins the draw for Matheson. Controlling out. Sticky puck off a few players, and it's picked up by the Bolts. This time it's James, the lone goal scorer for his squad. It's Demidov. Unable to traverse the neutral zone was the Lightning. 3 passes out now for Montreal. Slavkovsky battling. Tried to curl it with the toe of his stick. He ties up a defender. Lilleberg. Moved out by James. James, a backhand dish. He had a man cutting on goal, but layers of defense separated that pass. It's now in the neutral zone. 7:07 remaining in the second period. Jackeye met by Gonsalves, and the two continue chatting to one another behind the play. Green light Habs. Slavkovsky with a man trailing. Carrier just got there in the nick of time. Now Gallagher on the ice for Montreal. Now the first goal of this contest on his first shift back in the playoffs. Carrier picks up. Looking low, Gallagher behind the net. Warded off by McDonough. A one-timer Matheson. Save Vasilevsky. Now McDonough played it with one stick as he was brought to the ice. Pass out in front. 3 Bolts defenders guarding Vasilevsky. He'll cover. 6:22 remaining on. Oh, Gallagher with no helmet. We're used to seeing him in the middle of things. Some would say agitators. Others would say weasel. Number 11 in white. He's been on a few runs with this Canadian squad. 2014 Eastern Conference Final. 2015 President's Trophy and second round exit to the Bolts as they came up. And now it seems like he's played long enough to see the opposite, the light of day. Post-rebuild, a Stanley Cup final against this very team, and now the Canadiens' turn to be the team on the come-up. Gallagher goes to the bench to get a new helmet. So great stat on screen. 6 playoff goals against the Tampa Bay Lightning. These two have met plenty of times. Mid to late 2010s. Stanley Cup final in 2021. And a year without a Santa Claus. A year you may not see again. As they meet now in the first round. Gallagher trying to whack it out. Gord stapling the puck to glass. Hard on the forecheck. 5:59 remaining in this second period. The puck moving up the half wall. Cirelli pinwheels the puck around. Gensel trying to get there, but not in time. It's still rolling. Suzuki. Strong play to win the battle at the wall. Towards his bench. It's sent back at his own blue line. Hudson picks up. Looking for a stretcher. Suzuki in deep again, the captain of this Montreal squad. Just 26 years old, Jackeye avoiding Morgan Geekie. Now Geekie steals the puck on the forecheck. Away from Jackeye. Shot towards goal. It's gloved by Dobish through a screen and free. Bolduc. Calm, cool, and collected. Texier all tied up at center trying to break free on a one-on-one. Jackeye. Through two zones. It's Texier. Working Lilleberg. The huge 6'3", 215-pound defender pinning him to the glass. Crozier getting involved as well. Now Bolduc. Now to the opposite point. It's Montreal possessing. 4:30 remaining in the second period. Shot on goal. It looked like that was off the post or off the pad of Vasilevsky. A man was backdoor as Gooley walks it at the red line. He takes a check. James first on. And that'll be an icing on the Bolts. Looking for anything to spark their squad. It was Dominic James with a 2-on-1 goal earlier this frame. Goals so far tonight from Brendan Gallagher, 3 minutes into the first period. Alex Newhook the assist. Dominic James, his first postseason career goal. At the 6:49 mark of the second, Gonsalves and Gord tallying their first assists of the postseason. And Kirby Dach, just 3 seconds later at the 7-minute mark. Hudson, a shot off the draw. Always threatening at the point. Back to Hudson. He fakes and cuts to the inside. A shot, snapped on goal. Off a boot. It was Lilleberg. Now Bjorkstrand. With the man releasing, it's James. Lilleberg to James. 3 defenders on. A stick free. Bjorkstrand, a move to cage. Dobish kicks it away. Bjorkstrand lost it. Now out for Montreal. 2-on-3 the other way. Suzuki to his feet. Now it's 3-on-3. Full zone possession now for Montreal. Gallagher tied up with Caulfield. McDonough battling Slavkovsky off. Slavkovsky wins the puck battle. Sends it to Jason. Bouncing puck. Picked up by Deneau. Tip on goal wide. Carrier pinches successfully getting the puck deep. 2-on-2 down low. Kucherov looking for a man. Carrier free at the point. He'll walk the line. A shot into the glass. Now it's Deneau. Matheson. All Canadians a shot. Patted away by Vasilevsky. Here's Deneau. All touches here, Montreal. Broken up. That was Cirelli with the stick play. Good pool cue. Over the line for Matheson again. Matheson is shot wide. And now a 2-on-1 break for Tampa. It's Gensel walking at a shot. He scores! Mirror, mirror on the wall. Almost identical to the James goal. We're tied. Montreal with arguably their best shift of the second period, maybe of the entire game. Tampa able to capitalize again on a shot off the rush. This time it's Jake Gensel, part of that Team USA gold medal winning squad. He's got that clutch gene as well. Won the Stanley Cup in his first NHL season. 42 career postseason goals. There's number 43 for number 59 in blue. He's played 78 career playoff games, plenty with the Penguins as their dynasty trailed off, and played 1 year with the Carolina Hurricanes before he signed with Tampa. You have to think just a few years after Steven Stamkos leaves the team in free agency, the team picks up Jake Gensel, and this is why. He's a goal scorer. What a snapshot to beat Jacob Dobish. We'll go to commercial now. Not for me. I don't have any advertisements here on Mugno FM. Stick with me, folks. Welcome back. Tie contest, Jake Gensel with the second goal for the Lightning of this contest on home ice. Game 5. Winner can push the opponent to the brink. Gensel scored his 43rd career postseason goal. Eyeing up another Stanley Cup he had won early on in his career, similar to his teammate Corey Perry, still in search of his second. That's why he signed here in Tampa, 31 years old this season. Well, he's got Olympic gold, he's got a Stanley Cup. How can he add to that phenomenal trophy case? Well, we'll continue the action here on the ice as Anderson wins a puck battle behind the Tampa net. Hudson at the point of shot, blocked away by Hagel. He does it all. And you have to wonder, where is Hagel tonight? When is he going to have his big play? Official's arm is up. We'll see what the call is. Looks like that was an offside. Always have to be wary with the no audio from the television, no live feed action. And so every game this series has been decided by one goal. And based by the look of this game, might be the case again. All knotted up at 2-2 with 2:03 remaining in the second period. Mosier, met by Demidov. Kicked up to Hudson. A fadeaway shot to the corner. Gensel with no trouble handling. Mosier takes a check. Slavkovsky for Evans. A pinball shot. Demidov jamming at it, and Vasilevsky has it covered. Big Cat with the snag. Demidov hungry for his first career postseason goal. Morning Cup of Hockey earlier this year, Eric Engels mentioned that Demidov is starving for opportunity. He's the first player on at practice. He attends every morning skate. He attends every optional just to get better at his skill. And 93 is that guy. But you saw there the smaller framed Ivan Demidov, 6'1", 192, trying to get to the inside of the blue crease. And he was met by not only Vasilevsky's glove, but two defenders rather quickly. Suzuki wins this back for Hudson. Now Goulia shot off a body and wide. Suzuki over his stick. It's Hagel. 2-on-2. He moves out. 1-on-1 against Hudson. He'll beat him to the puck on the zone entry. Slavkovsky. Indirectly for Suzuki, who sends it left corner. Now Charnak, the big 6'4" rear guard, sliding it up the wall. Slavkovsky intercepts. McDonough carrying like a cruise ship behind the net. Now laid for Charnak. A backhand paddle pass up the wall. Matheson. He's got Slavkovsky releasing in the neutral zone. Passed across and knocked down. This time for Struble. Out for Carrier. At the right point, a shot. Blocked away. Matheson tracking down. 39 seconds remaining in the second. Vasilevsky, puck taken away. Over him and a bat towards goal as Struble's brought down. Now the Bolts carrying out. 24 seconds. It's Bjorkstrand. He's had a few chances so far tonight. It's his second game of the series. Gonsalves. Matheson battling. Now up the wall for Lilleberg. D-to-D. Shot towards goal, and it hits off a stick wide. 7 seconds remain. At the point, it's Gallagher looking to pin the puck. And now Deneau carries out. That'll do it for the period. 2-2. Third period will or could decide this contest. It's all been one goal games in this series. Just 4 goals deciding 4 contests. Second period in the books. 40 registered on the clock. 20 remain. More? Maybe. And in this case, hopefully so. Goals from Dominic James, Kirby Dach, and Jake Gensel have brought us to a 2-2 score. Second intermission here on deck. 16:47 remaining. And I'll be back here on Mugno FM for the third period in that time. Don't go anywhere, folks. Third period on deck, Mugno FM. Thanks for joining me. I'm Matthew Mugno. Game 5, Eastern Conference quarterfinal. Whoever wins puts a vice grip on this series. And we're off. Puck below the goal line of the Canadiens. Point and Gensel not moving against Matheson and Carrier blown dead. And a job well done to keep that against the glass. Tampa coming into this period with 23 shots on goal. They're 0 for 3 on the man advantage. That included a 4-minute power play, 18 hits and 15 blocks, outpacing the Canadiens in that stat category. Montreal also 0 for 2. No power play goals on the evening, but Montreal is dominating in the center ice dot. 71.4% on draws, 25 to 35. And a face-off now to the right of Jacob Dobish, former Buckeye, facing down Radish's shot from the point. He'll snare it. And we're set for another draw. Just a little bit over 30 seconds into this third period. Series tied 2-2. Score tied 2-2. Suzuki losing the draw. Back out for Radish. Top of the circle. He'll cut through center. A shot off the post. Rebound available, and Kucherov couldn't put it into the yawning cage. Down ice, it's Anderson, the power horse, first to the puck. 6-year veteran moved off by Mosier. Now it's Kucherov, left shot, right corridor, off the pad of Gooley. Good thing they wear shin guards now. Kito Kucherov just 1 goal in nearly 20 playoff games. Now Texier on a stretch, a shot. He scores! Alexander Texier off the mitten of Andrei Vasilevsky, and it's 3-2 Montreal. Alexander Texier had 3 postseason goals coming into this contest across 3 sweaters: Columbus, St. Louis, and Montreal. 2 points in Game 3, an assist in Game 4 on the game-winning goal. And now, for Texier, the go-ahead in the third period at the 18:54 mark. Texier has been all over the ice in this contest, and 1 minute and 6 seconds into this third period, he's able to beat Vasilevsky with a soft goal. So Liljegren's the first to the puck. Apologies, Lilleberg. He's on it again. Moving to Crozier. Stood up again. Now it's Bolduc at the blue line. He's moved off quickly by James, who has his first career postseason goal in this contest. Lilleberg again to the puck, taking a heavy check from Bolduc, the 6-foot, 22-year-old forward. Now Crozier retreats behind his own net. He'll walk it out. On a stretch, it's Geekie. Moved up the wall to Gallagher. Montreal looking to pitch a tent again. It's Jackeye retreating with Perrion. A turnover off the pass, a shot tipped wide. That was Geekie with the look. Gallagher weaving. Great play. And it's sent back in by the Lightning offside, so they'll tag up. Now Jackeye possessing. Jackeye to Struble. The Canadiens gain the zone with Demidov. Point shot. Gooley. Riding up Vasilevsky. He sticks it away. Now an outlet. Gensel. Riding off Gooley on the check. Unable to retreat the puck from behind him. Saucered in by Jackeye. Demidov in. bumping Mosier. Support comes, Slavkovsky. A pass broken up by Point. Experience prevails through the legs of Matheson. Now it's Gord. Pool cue. Slavkovsky. Off a roller. He's got Anderson on the stretch. And 17 was offsides. Montreal just moments ago breaking the ice in this third period and going up by a score. So Texier, with his second goal of this postseason and fourth point, 26-year-old forward had at one point been out of the NHL, came back to St. Louis, and he signed with Montreal as a free agent on November 23rd, 2025. Another look, the left shot coming down the left wing. Got the slingshot off the glove of Vasilevsky. And again, keeper with a performance he might want to forget after this contest if his team can't come through. A goal per period from the former Vezina winner, Kucherov. Moved low. It's McDonough joining in on the play. All Tampa here a shot wide. Cirelli all tied up in front. He couldn't reach the puck off the back of the boards. Hagel. For McDonough, a shot snapped on Dobish. He's got it high. A stoppage. Tampa still pacing shots on goal with 25. Vasilevsky beat 3 times on 20 shots. So both keepers with a sub 900 save percentage, despite how close these games are. April 19th, 4-3. April 21st, 3-2. April 24th, 3-2. And April 26th, 3-2. Tonight, another 3-2 contest. You're good for 2 to 3 goals. Can you get the third or fourth? That's the question. Tie it up or win the game. 16 minutes remaining in this third period. Time is the enemy for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Scoreless on the power play, trailing by 1. Passed off for Bjorkstrand, a shot, knuckled wide. Swept low. Walking up the wall is Gonsalves. Off the cycle, it's Bjorkstrand. James battling down low Goulet. Walked out in front, it's Evans. A short aerial, picked up by Crozier. Gonsalves. Back for James. Looking Bjorkstrand, who walks the zone. He's in between 4 white sweaters. The road team winning in this contest. Can the Bolts give their fan a jolt? They have the 12th man. Here's Texier. Roombaing down the wall. A shot from the point. Waffle boarded by Vasilevsky. McDonough. Moved out. Over the stick of Gergensons. Now Perry. Dishes. Left corner. Dobish tracking down in the right corner as a 2-on-2 battle ensues. Jackey's there to support. Big 6'4" rear guard comes away with the puck. The Sheriff. A pass. Cut off by Point. Now looking Chernak. He's got Point in stride. What's the next gear for the Lightning? Momentum captured. And like the personification of their team name, in the glass it was, but they weren't able to capitalize coming into this game. New game, new series, Matheson. Around for Kucherov. Goal in game 2 for Kucherov. Believe I had said otherwise earlier in this broadcast, but he had gone 19 games without one. 10 plus for any star player is dangerous territory as Lilleberg checks Demidov off the puck, freeing it up for Point. He's got Gensel. Boot to stick. It's in the zone. Kucherov chasing down Suzuki. Sauced out for Slavkovsky, who walks it back down the aisle. A look for Hudson as Montreal scrambles on the exit. Chernak, strong forecheck Tampa. Nudged out by Suzuki. Mosier back cycling in order to get the puck. Hagel looking to feed Sorelli there. Brandon Hagel leading the playoffs in goals. Yet to crack tonight. Vasilevsky. Now Sorelli sidesteps a defender. Gord is available, but the saucer was too high, like a UFO. Not landing on site. It's walked in by McDonough. Now Gord behind the net. Anderson with the assist play. A pile of bodies. To the point. A shot. Flutters wide. Dobish couldn't track it. It was off the stick of Hagel. Crozier. Top of the circle. Now slot a shot. Blocked by Matheson. And out of the zone, they'll go for a change. 12:19 remaining in this third period. Suddenly, time is vanishing off the clock. Father Time always prevails. It's James. Pass in. And that'll be an icing. He was just a step behind the red line. 3-2 Canadians off the stick of Texier. Texier scored just 1 minute and 6 seconds into the third period. And that stands as the go-ahead goal. Other goals from Brendan Gallagher 3 minutes into the contest. James at the 6:49 mark. Kirby Doc at the 7-minute mark, just 11 seconds later in that second period. And Gensel at the 17:23 mark on a 2-on-1. A nearly identical goal to the James 2-on-1. According to ESPN stats, when the series is tied 2-2, the Game 5 winner has won 79% of playoff series. It's a pass out to the point, a shot off the draw for Montreal. Newhook can't corral it. Now Radish. A shuffleboard pass, broken up. Here's Danault. Dish for Newhook. Pass out. Gallagher, a shot wide. Danault, a pass out in front. A nifty look on the backhand. Struble shovels it towards goal. An opportunity, Gallagher. It's back out for Jackeye. Fourth line and third pairing getting to work for Montreal. McDonough takes Danault down. 700 plus games in 24's NHL career. Back with Montreal. And that puck sent out of play. Montreal wants a whistle and potentially a penalty, but we'll see what comes of it. Martin St. Louis taking a look right now. Only if I was in arena. I wish I was there right now at Benchmark International. Looks like we'll have to see after the TV timeout what is called. For now, Alexander Texier's go-ahead goal stands as the 3-2 marker. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. Thanks for sticking with me. Welcome back, Mugno FM. Matthew Mugno here. Third period. And in as close as a series as you can get, not only in the first round, but maybe all of the playoffs, at the 11:10 mark of this third and, well, we can't say final frame for these two teams. Montreal has a 3-2 lead over Tampa Bay. Alexander Texier, 1 minute into this period, popped a goal past Vasilevsky. Maybe 188 would like back. And now the battle against Father Time is the work for the Lightning. Gooley. Windows and not out as Kucherov battles for it past Mosier. It's Suzuki, a poke check, he whiffed. Walked in by Kucherov. Crafty wrists, gets it out to Hagel. A firm backhand dish by Cirelli, gets it low, now Hudson. Played out to Suzuki. Chugging down the wing, he makes a move past a check, but can't handle the puck. It's Hagel in stride, playing it in between his own legs. A soft dish, he's got Gensel. Well, those two are building chemistry. Out for Matheson. At the blue line, Anderson gets it deep enough for the change. Bolduc makes a play on Gensel's exit pass. Now deep in Tampa territory. Matheson chokes up on the stick, but can't golf swing it out. Gord. In with point. A shot off of Dobish and towards the back of the arena. Crozier stood up by Texier. Gord, backhand shovel pass. He had Lilleberg. A touch forward. And now it's Montreal controlling on a regroup. To the stick of Bolduc down the left alley. A look Doc, who has a goal in this contest. Goals in back-to-back. Slavkovsky. Trail checking point. Point had Gord, who was loaded up, but had to kick it to his own stick. Now in the trapezoid, Doc falls down to the ice on the puck. Struble. Jackeye. Gord. You name them, they're in that pile. Bjorkstrand now down to the ice. Doc is getting tossed around like a rag doll. Out to center. With the reach is Lilleberg. Slavkovsky causing havoc on the forecheck. His teammates for Team Slovakia calling him the horse or the boogeyman. Pick your poison. 20 frees it up. Gooley, a shot tipped wide. Now James. Finding Chernak. D-to-D. Swiped in by Bjorkstrand, and now it's Dobish puck to play. He had Gooley and opted a backhand pass that got nowhere. Evans. Tied up by Gonsalves. 8:43 remaining in the third. Caulfield walks down the wall. A snap pass. Looking Evans in stride. He's free. A slapper. Blockered away by Vasilevsky. He got heat on that shot, slinging off the flex of his twig 84 miles an hour. Gallagher, a shot on goal. A good sharp angle look. 3-2. Bolts, if they're quick enough past Matheson, they'll get a change. Gergenson's on the forecheck. F1. Disrupting play. Not enough for Gallagher to walk it out down the left wing. Through the neutral zone, the Canadians get. Unable to possess. Now it's Geeky. Effective in his limited minutes. Newhook. Across the street. He had Anderson, who gains the zone. Struble walks up to help out. Breaks pumped. Montreal looking to pitch their 10. Perry trying to handle ball behind the net. Carrier out with Montreal. Pucks like a magnet on their stick on this shift. Trailing by just 2 shots on goal, leading by 1 score. $7:15 remaining in this third period. Yanni Gord carrying out towards the top of the circles. It's point. Jetpacks on. 21 looks center. He's got Kucherov broken up by the stick of Suzuki. 100 points and a plus 26 in the regular season. Texier, a shot looking left corner, and it hits the glass. Off the panes, Mosier plays it. 6:44 remaining and counting. Limited stoppages here for Tampa to get their footing. One-timer Hudson into the slot. Peeled off by Hagel. Now Radish joins the rush. Kucherov had a man. Pass broken up again by Doc. They're reading him like a textbook in Mrs. Rasher's 5th grade history class. Vasilevsky turned out by McDonough. Bolduc with the steal. Now around Gonsalves. He'll handle again. Out of the zone, a foot race. Matheson late to the party. Hagel all over him. A jam by Hagel at the side of the net. Puck's free. Dobish dives on it across the crease. And there's 38 in the mix again, forcing the discomfort of number 75. Jacob Dobish, the Czech monster, 6'4", able to move swiftly across the crease to cover that puck. And with just about 6 minutes remaining in this contest, 6:02 to be exact, the Tampa Bay Lightning, with fans in the arena for Game 5, are looking up at a 1-goal contest. I'll be back in a few moments, folks. Stick with me. And we're back. Game 5 within reach for the Montreal Canadiens, up 3-2. With a win, they pushed the Tampa Bay Lightning to the brink. The Bolts do not want to suffer the same fate they have for the last 4 seasons. Making it 5 would be a half a decade away from their last 2 Stanley Cup championships. I'm Matthew Mugno here on Mugno FM. Game being played at Benchmark International Arena tonight. The Tampa fans are waiting to jump out of their seats. 6:02. Face-off in the Canadiens' end to the right of Dobish. And again, Montreal winning at the dot. Current face-off number 72% in favor of the Habs, who have won 31 draws out of 43 taken. You control the draw, you control the play. Dobish moving the puck right to a defender, Danault, carrying out now at the right wing. It's Newhook churning the engines. Moving the puck off Corrosier's stick. Now James with support with Lilleberg. The Bolts getting hasty and impatient. Now Goulet. With precious time is Hudson, hanging in the slot in front of Dobish. Anderson beats Lilleberg to the puck. Suzuki makes a play to Slafkovsky. Big power forward disrupting play again in the corner. At the rounded boards, they battle. Walked out by the Bolts. That's Hagel. Is the magic running thin for him? A boards battle and one-on-one. Anderson and Mosier unable to come up with the puck. Now squeaking out to Hagel. The rubber comes. Sometimes it has a mind of its own, as Bolduc moves it out to Mosier, the cutoff man. Now Hagelin. And again, the Canadians possess. A snap pass up the wall, looking for the stretch. And that's an icing on Montreal at the 4:12 mark of this third period. No power plays converted on. The face-off dot controlled by the Canadians. And right now, Alexander Texier's tally, 1 minute into the period, is the difference. Lane Hudson with his third assist and Nick Suzuki with his fifth in as many games. So it'll be the Gensel line out, joined by Gord and Point, with Radish and Moser. John Cooper, click the NutriBullet. He wants different looks here with 3:58 remaining. So it's Gensel at the wall, doing work. Hard hat on. The puck somersaults out to Mosier, who takes a spill. Now Radish checking Texier off the puck, who's been a hound all night for it. Evans at the top of the key, a shot, looking for the redirect from Newhook on a cutter. Here's Gord. Carouseling around his own zone. A dart off the glass. Kucherov with the stick forward for Gord. He's closed off down the right wing. Crashing cars. McDonough on goal. It's Dobish patting it away. And it's out of the rink. A pileup. Maybe not as many as we're accustomed to with these customers. And another stoppage at the 3:07 mark. Vasilevsky looking down the barrel right now. In a tie series, John Cooper and the Lightning on their backs at the moment. We'll be back in a few moments after this TV timeout. A handful of seconds above the 3-minute mark. It is now yank the goalie territory if you're Tampa in your own building with the face-off in Montreal's end. And it looks like it will be exactly that. 3-2 score for Montreal. They don't need another goal to win this one. Looks like the lines will be Gonsalves, James, and Bjorkstrand with Mosier and Crozier against the Evans line for Montreal. Denon Anderson at his flanks and Matheson Carrier on first pairing. A slap shot off the draw, Matheson. Hung on by Bjorkstrand at the top of the zone, and it pops out. 2:50 remaining. It's James behind his own net. Excuse me, that scored. Gonsalves pumps the brakes. A shot on Dobish. Looked like it might have been in his equipment for a moment, but it went adjacent to the net. Another shot off the wall, and Dobish covers. At 2:33, it was Mosier who got that on goal. Defender that was part of the Sergachev trade in 2024. Signed that lucrative 8-year, $54 million deal on December 27th of this season. Played in the Olympics, but looks fresh as ever. He scored the overtime winner in Game 2. Does he have more magic at Benchmark International Arena? Now it's Nikita Kucherov coming on. Top unit for Tampa with the goaltender pulled. Vasilevsky has found himself on Pine. Cirelli 7 for 15 at draws. He'll take this one against Evans, who's cleared 12 of 13, won by Tampa. Kucherov a shot off the far pad of Dobish. Here's Radish. Shot Hagel blocked away. He had an alley. Radish at the top of the diamond, forming into a rectangle. Gensel a shot, gloved by Dobish. Looked like it would have sailed wide anyway, but Dobish brought down the angle on number 59, a sharp shooter. Nearly 3 hours since puck drop. Empty net Tampa, looking at a 1-goal margin with 2:12 remaining. And the fans are on their feet at Benchmark International. One back to Carrier for Montreal. Now Gensel at his feet. Another 1-goal difference in this series. Puck sent down ice wide of the net. So we'll have another icing at the 1:57 mark. There's Darren Radish skating down ice, number 43 in blue. Resilient, losing his father this year. Just over a month ago. 17 games played in his postseason career, but he had a breakout season with 70 points. He'll man this empty net unit. Controlling at the point is Radish. Hagel loads up a shot. Rebound in the crease, and it went wide. Kucherov finding Gensel. Looking across to Hagel, who picks up. Hagel, passing catch with Radish. A pass low, backhander. Now Kucherov bumped to Radish's shot high. Dobish had no idea where it was. Out of play, so we'll get another stoppage at the 1:28 mark. Yawning cage Tampa, extra attacker on. That opportunity earlier had hit off of Matheson, and then the shot from the point hit off of Dobish's mask. Cirelli, the left-hand shot, tried a backhand attempt top shelf as 75, the keeper for Montreal, had gone down early. Kucherov tried a nifty one-touch pass to Radish, and that's what's brought us to this timeout. 35 shots for Tampa to Montreal's 24. But one shot the difference thus far, and that was off the stick of Alexander Texier. Tampa calling this timeout. The big boys are on the ice, and they'll have to deliver here. Brandon Hagel alone with 6 goals. And for Montreal, they'll draw up a few plays themselves based on the situations they could find themselves in. 1:28 remains in this game 5. Winner pushes their opponent to the brink. Two of the top teams in the Atlantic Division vying for an opportunity to play Buffalo or Boston in the semifinal. Tampa looking to escape their dreadful run of first-round exits the last 3 seasons. So it will be Deneau against Point. 1 back to Radish. Point with a rare win. Kucherov a shot, catching Dobij off guard. Slavkovsky slaps it off the wall. Plenty wide of the cage. It's Radish. Here's Point. Vasilevsky is gone. 6-on-5 attempt. Sent down ice. Opposite corner. And Radish is there to tag up. Now 1:03 remaining in the contest. Players lined up. Suzuki won this back, but it's called for a redo. They click the back arrow on that play, and it will be Cirelli again. This time, he'll face the captain of the Canadiens. Nikita Kucherov, just 1 goal on 54 shots this series. Cirelli in a dog pile. Point now hits the deck. Hagel off to Radish. Now Hagel walks it in. A pass, looking for the tip, a shot wide. Now Radish to Hagel, 48 seconds remaining. Here's Hagel for Kucherov, a one-timer off his chest. Swept down ice, not past Radish. Hagel loads up, past Kucherov. He went for the extra look. Now Hagel makes a move to get by. He beats Suzuki. Kucherov around the horn. Kucherov for Gensel, a one-timer wide. He was looking opposite corner. Unpainted. Gensel pedals in. Point a shot in the slot. It's blocked. Kucherov across the top of the zone. 12 seconds and 10. Point. Gensel, look in front. Kept in by Radish. 5 seconds. Last attempt. Hagel blocked away by Carrier. Shot on goal. Rebound there. Montreal wins the contest. And the Habs take it on the road 3-2. All it will take in this series is 1 goal. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. 94 total viewers. I really, really appreciate that. If you even tuned in for just 3 seconds. Matthew Mugno. I broadcast at RPI for their men's and women's ice hockey teams. I broadcast at Quinnipiac University as a student, 24 years old, was just at Army for the lacrosse season, and wanted to come up with a way to keep the engine going. Keep the voice going and keep calling hockey games my favorite sport to not only broadcast but watch. And boy, if you're a fan of hockey, this series has been something and everything. So I figured I'd start with Minnesota and Dallas last night. That didn't end up working, but we got the setup working tonight. So I bid you all farewell, and I look forward to doing more of these. I think with how this had gone and how much I enjoyed it, we'll definitely be, or I'll be doing more of these if my time allows. So thanks for joining tonight, folks. Have a good one.